What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I am doing yet another nail polish 101 video. Today I'm going to be tackling a very popular question. You guys probably ask it at least once per video, especially in the summer, and that is, how do I avoid getting bubbles in my manicure? Or why am I getting bubbles in my top coat? Anything like that. So first I'm going to be talking about why the bubbling happens, and then I'm going to be sharing with you guys my tips on how to avoid that happening. So just a heads up, this is one of those talking videos. If you are one of the people that gets annoyed by the talking parts of the videos, I would just suggest going ahead and skipping this one because that's what this video is. I know a lot of times when I do these tip videos where I'm just sharing information, a lot of times I'll get comments from people who are like, you talk too much. So yeah, if you are one of those people, just don't watch this video. I'm sure somebody can give you a recap. Alright, so let's just get started. So there are three main reasons why bubbling can happen. So thing number one is if you're shaking your nail polish and then immediately applying it, obviously there's going to be some air bubbles in your nail polish and they might transfer onto your nails and cause bubbling in your manicure. Thing number two is if your nails are not clean, then you could also be trapping some air in there, especially if you have a bit of cuticle on your nail or something like that. That could make your nail polish bubble as well. And then thing number three is the thing that I think most people don't know, and that is making sure that your nail polish and you are in a temperature controlled environment. So those are the three main reasons why bubbling happens, and then all the tips that I'm going to be talking about today are pretty much how to avoid any of those three things. Okay, so tip number one is storing your polish. The way that you have to store your polish is you have to make sure that it is in a cool, dark, dry area. So those are the three most important things. I know a lot of people like to store their nail polish in the bathroom, and that can be problematic for a couple of reasons. One, it's not always cool in there, and two, it can get very humid, especially if you are showering or bathing in that bathroom. So I like to keep my nail polish in drawers in my bedroom. I know that not everybody has as many nail polishes as I do, but as long as you're storing them in an environment where there's no direct sunlight, or it's like nice and temperature controlled, and it's also dry and not humid, that's very important. So the humidity can affect the formula of your nail polish. It doesn't permanently affect it, but it will make it apply a little bit differently, and it could cause bubbling. So you might notice that I have this giant tower of nail polish behind me, and obviously that is not in drawers, but I do keep it out of direct sunlight, and also my room is generally very cool, temperature controlled, and it's not humid in here, so those polishes are safe. Okay, so my next tip obviously is making sure that your nails are clean before application. I do have a video on removal, but it's also very important to make sure that you get your cuticles and push them back, because sometimes you can get little bits of cuticle in your manicure and it can look like bubbles, but it's actually just little bits of cuticle or little bits of nail that you haven't pushed back or cleaned off before you applied your next manicure. That's a super easy one. Okay, so the next tip is don't shake your nail polish bottle right before you apply it. So I do shake my nail polishes. Some people say never shake your nail polishes. There's nothing wrong with shaking your nail polish. I just would wait at least 10 minutes before applying it onto your nails. If you are in a rush, one thing I would recommend is rolling it in between your palms, because that will prevent there from being any bubbles, but it'll also shake up the color. I can show you guys what that looks like. Super easy, and you're not causing any air bubbles in your manicure. Okay, so my next tip is, if you can, paint your nails in a cool area. So one of the reasons why I get this question so often in the summer is because when it's really hot and you don't have air conditioning, then your nail polish can get super hot too. And then it has a different formula when you're applying it. Like I said, it doesn't permanently affect the formula, but when you're applying hot nail polish, it is a lot runnier. The formula does change, and you're also allowing for more air bubbles to get trapped in there because the polish doesn't have as tight of a formula as it normally does. So if you can help it, try to paint your nails in a cool environment. Don't ever paint them outside, especially in the summer, because it is just too hot and it is going to affect your nail polish application. If you don't have air conditioning and you can't help being in a warm environment, one thing I would suggest is to put your nail polish in the fridge for about 30 minutes before you apply it, because that's going to solidify it a little bit, thicken it up, and also just make it easier to apply it in general. And also, a quick bonus, it'll feel super cooling on your nails, which is nice. Okay, my next tip is probably the most important and probably the number one reason why people get bubbling all year round. A lot of times people will tell me that they bought the exact same products as me, they did it the exact same way, and for some reason their manicure has bubbles or their top coat has bubbles or something's going on. They never shake their nail polish, their nails are totally clean, etc., etc. And the reason is because they always end up having something in the room that's blowing on them. So either a fan or air conditioning or an open window. Obviously you need to be in a well-ventilated room when you're painting your nails because you don't want to inhale those fumes. But if you're letting air blow directly onto your manicure or onto the brush as you're applying, then you are going to be affecting that nail polish application again. So it's really important to make sure you don't have that overhead fan blowing unless you're pretty far away from it. You don't want to have all the windows open, and you don't want to be having the air conditioning or heat blowing directly onto you. Like I said, again, don't want to breathe in those fumes, but you also don't want to be directly in front of a fan or any sort of air that's moving around, because that's going to get some bubbles into your nail polish, because then you're getting air into your manicure. So if you are super paranoid about, you know, breathing in those fumes, obviously best to do it in a well-ventilated area. But another thing you can do is buy one of those masks, and they're fairly cheap. You can buy them online. I can put a link in the description if anybody's curious. Okay, so my last tip is something that I think is pretty obvious, but some people still do it. Similar to how a lot of people apply mascara, they will apply their nail polish by vigorously dunking their nail polish brush into the bottle and then like doing that to get the nail polish onto the brush. So you're not supposed to do that for mascara, by the way, because that'll dry out your mascara. You're also not supposed to do that for nail polish, because all you're doing, well, besides ruining the brush, is you're just getting air into the nail polish, and then you're going to be able to cause bubbles. So please don't vigorously dunk your nail polish brush. Just apply it nicely. Like I said, I have a whole video on how to apply your nail polish, and I have a section in that video on how you should be dunking your nail polish brush into the bottle and how much polish you're supposed to be using on each nail. So definitely check that out if you are a dunker. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any other recommendations for how to prevent bubbles from happening on your nails. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my Nail Polish 101 videos, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Alright, here's my fun fact. It's a shameful fun fact, and that is that this nail polish tower, back when I used to live in my first apartment, I used to keep it right by the window. It was just directly in the sunlight, and this was before I really knew that much about nail polish. I didn't realize that that would ruin the application of the polish, but not only that, it also caused a ton of my nail polishes to fade because they were in direct sunlight, and it just completely like bleached them, and I had to throw them out. So yeah, don't put your nail polish in the sunlight. It's not good for it. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.